Hi, my name is Ben Hughes, and this is my project. It's called Untitled Plant Project. Uh, Basically, the objective of this is people with indoor or outdoor plants. They want to be able to really know when and how much to water their plants. Uh, on the market currently, one of the best options is an iOS and Android app called Planta. And the idea behind this app is you create your whole space, whether you have plants in your room or on your deck or on your front patio. And the app is really specific, and it has you put in, you know, whether it's north or south facing or how much sunlight it's going to get. It does a really good job of estimating when and how much you should water your plant, depending on what type of plant it is and depending on what type of region you live in the US. Even with all the sophistication of this, there still is some uncertainty when it comes to weather and everything. Just for example, we've had the flood all week. And even like I have this app, and the app alerted me to water some of my outdoor plants, even though it was raining like a foot outside. So the goal with my project is to actually measure the moisture of the soil in real time and be able to notify the user when to water it and when to stop watering it. So if you want to come in and look at this, this is kind of the backbone of the whole project. This is an I2C soil moisture sensor. Now, it's capacitive, which makes it a whole lot better than current soil sensors on the market that are resistive based. This one of the real pros to this is, one, it's going to last a whole lot longer, especially when it's in the dirt, whether it's inside or outside. It's going to get wet, and this is going to last 2 to 3 times as longer. And also, capacitive is just a lot more specific than resistive sensors. And this is just a simple I2C sensor, and can just be plugged into, most boards on the market today. Now, this is kind of the biggest part of my project, which is we have an Arduino Mega that is attached to, a simple LCD display, and it's also attached to one of the sensors itself. So as we can see, obviously it's, hooked up to a Lego plant. So it's going to say, hey, you need to water me, it's very dry, as well as, hey, it's, 17 degrees Celsius outside. But if we take this and we put it over in my actual plant, you see right here, as I watered it appropriately recently, it says it's a happy plant. Now, we can just kind of take this out, and I can demonstrate an example of being like if you overwater your plant, because many people do that, especially with very low maintenance plants, such as different kind of succulents and such, and people think, oh, I still need to water it once or twice a week, when you should really water it maybe every 2 weeks, especially in the summer, like maybe a week and a half. But now, if we can zoom in right here, it says, yes, water me, because it's not plugged in. But if I just kind of like press it down, it's going to say, oh no, I'm drowning, because the sensor thinks that it's, flooded with water. Now, another really big part of this project that unfortunately I wasn't able to complete due to not being shipped the right board was having this Arduino and another Arduino hooked up to an MQTT server. And the idea was that this board, if the correct board was sent to me, would be able to act as a publisher and be able to let other devices know when to act and what to do when that happens. So, for example, like the idea was that if I'm using this and this sensor, and if it gets too cold or too hot in here, it's going to publish that to other client Arduinos I have hooked up. And then once that happens, then those Arduinos know to start reading start paying more attention to the moisture level. So if we come over here, we can actually see one that now I have just the MKR 1000 that we have from class hooked up. But if you want to zoom in over here, so here's the board, and then it's hooked up to the sensor, which is down here, right? So you just put it down here, and currently you can kind of see it's flickering green, which means we're in the clear. So ideally it would start flickering blue if it's drowning, and then if it's really dry and needs some water, it's going to start flickering red. The idea of having this hooked up to the main Arduino was because these are a whole lot more susceptible to drying out really fast, or in the winter freezing, because these plants, especially the tree, which is not doing too well, is an outdoor plant, and I have to pay like a lot more attention and be a whole lot more specific on how much I water it and when I water it, as opposed to an indoor plant, which I have like more control over the environment it's in. Thank you so much. This was my project.